Pasajero, you know, it's not really a political song. It's a prayer. You know, it's a mantra for the people who come from different countries and are not protected. You know, it's a human thing. It's not even a political thing, because when you get into these political things, then everything is very convoluted. And Fugitives of Pleasure, which is the name of the EP, you know, conveyed, it's actually criticizing the fundamentalist religions that are very, you know, very strict, and they, you know, they become so extreme at, you know, denying their pleasure, you know, things that, for instance, if you believe God is great, pure and beautiful, and God has given you all these great things like, you know, sex and all these things that are natural, you know, why are they bad? Yeah. And so, like, you know, you have these religions, like, you know, being extreme, yeah, and then you have people who are bombing, you know, places, or who kill their wives, or, you know, who molest children, you know, and those are the pure, quote unquote, pure people, you know, people who are saying, like, oh, all this degenerate race, you know. And it's kind of an interesting thing, because it seems very hypocritical. So I wanted to, you know, touch upon that. And so Fugitives of Pleasure, Pasajeros kind of tied in, you know, in a sense. And I was like, which one do we name it at first? And I like the bilingualism even to that degree that it came out naturally. It wasn't like, oh, I gotta name this bilingually, you know. Look at the package, you know, which is, it's just a brown bag. We wanted to also stray away from the conventionality of, you know, product, you know, like, it's more eco-friendly, and it's less convoluted. I mean, I like paper. It's like a cookie bag, you know. So even that, you know, it just sort of strays away from the convention. Like, we're not conventional. We're not interested in repeating tricks, because otherwise, what would be the point? You know?
I always have a predilection for darker music. Like, I listen to a lot of Depeche Mode, The Cure. I mean, they have their share of brighter things, but I like a lot of dark music. That's what moves me. And with Cicatrix, I didn't really feel like I had enough time to really express what I wanted to say. Whereas this EP, especially after touring and playing together a lot more, I don't know, it kind of developed into something a little more thought out. Like, we didn't really hold back on arrangements. We didn't hold back on, you know, more concepts, more unconventional sounds, and I think that's kind of how this EP came about.
First of all, La Negra Tomasa, it's a cover of a cover, which I like the simulacra effect, right? A cover of a cover of a cover. And each person does it in their own, sort of, in their own way, yeah? But I mean, the beat is hip hop. And I wanted to put some, like, ghetto shit, you know, like East LA shit. Like, seriously, like, we grew up in LA, and there's a lot of gangster, but I wanted to put good gangster stuff, you know, like, I really like Dre, I like a lot of, like, Tupac, I like a lot of those different guys. So I don't rap like that, because I'm not, you know, I'm not a gangster, but I also feel like there's an attitude that we represent that it's not, we're not this or that, you know, we're not a band that you can categorize, you know. And I grew up listening to a lot of Beastie Boys and a lot of stuff, so I love rap. It's just that, you know, we don't, I mean, I'm not a rapper per se, but this hip-hop thing, and also Jason's you know, sort of idea was to, like, turn it around and make it really dark. But the idea was to make it so, because Los Caifanes did something really amazing with that song, is, you know, and he proves that as Mexicans, you know, Mexican people, they're not 100% rockeros. Yeah, they're not like, there's always a tropical side to it, because you grew up with salsa, cumbia, merengue, cha-cha-cha, so you always, like, you know, they be playing, like, The Clash, and even The Clash to a certain degree sort of defied those, and that's one of my favorite bands, The Clash, because they always sort of work with different, you know, themes. You know, they had reggae, they had a lot of soul, they had a lot of different stuff, and it was punk. Yeah, it was, the attitude was punk. So for me, it's the same thing. It shows that we're not just rockers. You know, we love rock and roll, and we are rock and roll is ultimately a 4-piece band, but we have a very, or I have at least a very cachondo side. I love salsa, and I love moving, man, and I love what he does to you, because rock is like, rock music is square, you know. This is more like, you know, you move your hips, whereas with rock you move your hands. So it's kind of nice to have a different elements of music. And I feel like with La Negra Tomasa, I know some people are gonna be like, oh, you know, travesty, or, you know, But other people are gonna be like, right on. Like, I love this song in the 30s when they, you know, in the La Negra Tomasa, the Q1 version of La Negra Tomasa, which is 50s, 60s, like, you know, it's kind of salsera. I love Los Caifanes, just cumbia, you're right. And maybe they say, you know, Monte Negro did it hip hop, and it's got this sort of darker attitude. It's just, it's like, you know, like, I don't know, it's just like a dark song. Our goal is not to be this sort of parochial band, you know, we're just from LA, you know, we want to be universal. We want to reach to as many people as we can, and we feel like, you know, vision and integrity have a price, and we have paid it. So I think that you can kind of see it and feel it, and it's not a pretentious thing to say. It's just we're very dedicated. This is our life. This is our vision, and if we don't represent it correctly, then who will? You know.
Hey guys, we're Monte Negro and you're checking out Austin Vida.